Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer joins me today to unpack the latest news in the mining industry. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Ashley.
Now, Barrick revealed its first quarter results, where discovery and development were punted as the true drivers of value creation in mining.
Yes, and discovery and development are not just words with Barrick. They are implemented. And this has taken place since, Dr. Mark Bristow was head of Randgold Resources. He used exploration to actually make sure that his company could get assets moving in a low-cost and responsible way, I think, because you don't want to have mergers and acquisitions and then end up with chasing all sorts of high grades to try and pay off the debt. So everywhere he's gone, you'll see that there is an exploration involvement and a platform that is built on. And I think that's what major companies should do. It also brings them very close to the communities, very close to the governments. And you can see that Barrick also rates mine closure very highly. So, the start of mining with discovery and development, it rates very highly. But then mine closure, if you see what they're doing to one of the closing gold mines in Tanzania, it's exemplary. Because you've got this mine closing. We've seen mines close here over the years and you end up with ghost towns. Instead of this happening, there's a public-private activity. And with this gold mine, they found it opportune to put in an air terminal. So you've got the air terminal there. The government has then brought in a special economic zone. They're bringing in a training academy, not just for mining, but finance and computers and all the activities of the world, including safety as well. And there'll be many supervisors involved there. But what really stunned me was that when they do the calculations, this new operation that they're envisaging there, they believe can generate 3,000 jobs a year sustainably. Now that is the sort of thing that we need in South Africa, so with mine closure it can become a big positive situation, and we saw them turn it into a positive situation in Mali as well. So from the cradle to the grave, they really focus very well. It's exemplary, I think.
Now, South Africa's struggling economy can also benefit from exploration getting going at pace.
Yes, we sit here talking about exploration. We know that our mining industry is shrinking. It has shrunk quite alarmingly. We know that we rely heavily on mining for exports. And from those exports, we generate an incoming foreign exchange that makes sure our rand can be firmed up. So it's a hugely important industry which you should not allow to shrink. The way you don't allow it to shrink is to make sure you work well on exploration, discovery and development. Now, a lot of that discovery has been done, so they need to get access to that. They also need to get the cadastre working. The cadastre is the system that people go into to see what is available. It is taking them very long to get this going. I believe that just like when we had problems with Eskom energy, you suddenly had a public-private structure set up, dealing with that, focusing on that, and we could see how it helped it. Logistics as well, rail logistics, very bad activities on the coal line and on the iron ore line. Suddenly you saw this public-private structure set up and people just reported things are improving. What we need now is a public-private structure to get this exploration going in the right way. I know that on Wednesday, they launched a fund for exploration. But that fund is heavily geared towards ensuring that previously disadvantaged South Africans actually get into the exploration business as 51% shareholders. So, that maybe takes care of past injustices, past problems. And we see that they will be monitoring that on a fairly good basis. I hope they're very transparent about it so we can see what's going on there. But over and above this, you need this public-private structure to really focus on getting the big investment in. And that is so important for us, so important for our grandkids in the future, because we've got to make sure that this mining industry doesn't shrink.
Lastly, Harmony Gold's South African gold projects are on track, and its Australian copper projects also have big developments.
Yes, the gold mining companies are benefiting from a fantastic gold price. It increased 15% last year. It's increased 15% so far this year. It is now seen as the, haven when there's problems in the world. Huge confidence in mining. So it's a wonderful time for Harmony Gold. It's a wonderful time for Goldfields and all the other gold miners that we've got here, Sibanye. But you can see that with Harmony, they've inherited mines that give them a much higher grade now. So it's put them into a higher grade category. And then also they've got extensions going on. And that's so important. As we talk about exploration, you also need these expansions going on. And we can see them at Moab Kotsong, that's well placed. Mine waste solutions on surface, well placed. And then preparatory work being done at Mponeng. So that's fantastic that we've got these activities that expand gold mining at this time in South Africa. And this is a way of doing it that gets you a return very, very fast. And then also in the longer term, to get into copper. Virtually all gold mining companies seem to want to get into copper. And they've got the EVA project in Australia, which they are moving forward well. But importantly, the government there has given it a status of a priority project. So that'll be very good for Harmony as well.
Thanks for speaking with us, Martin.
Great pleasure, Seshni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on the local and global mining industries. Do subscribe to Creamer Media's Engineering News and Mining Weekly. Please email subscriptions at creamermedia.co.za.